Hi, and welcome to my studio. Today I'm going to talk a little bit about copyright and a certain portion of that copyright called public domain, and also how Facebook guidelines state some things around copyright, and then it gets kind of fuzzy later on when you start talking about photos and videos. So what I want to do to start out is read to you Facebook's guidelines. Facebook states you retain copyright. However, you grant them a license to use and display content. Keep in mind that when you grant them that license, they will not come back and ask you if it's okay that they use your painting, your photo you're painting, or any other photos that are on your site in a particular way. If it's okay with you that they do that, they will just go ahead and do it, because when you create an account and you accept the terms and the uses, you basically tell them that it's okay that they do that. So they won't check with you individually to see if it's okay with the way they're using it. So you have no control over how they present it outside of your wall, or if everybody else shares it outside of what it looks like on their walls. Now, further down in the agreement, there's another set of text that I want to read almost verbatim. It's under the photos and videos. This is kind of a quote where they say we, I'm basically substituting Facebook, so know that. So, quote, "You give Facebook the following permissions, subject to your own privacy and application settings. You grant Facebook a non-exclusive, transferable, sub-licensable, royalty-free, worldwide license to use any IP content, meaning video or photo, that you post on or in Facebook. The IP," that's unquote, "the IP license ends when you delete your account. However, if your content has been shared with others and they do not delete their account, Facebook still owns the license on that photo or video." Okay, so that's Facebook. Then there's your website. And where websites get into problems with copyrights, if you will, is when we talk about public domain. And it's actually the same whether we're talking about your website or we're talking about Facebook. Once you place a photo on the web, on the World Wide Web, that is considered public domain. Your copyright starts when your product, when your photo, when your painting is placed on the web. That's when your copyright starts. There's a blog which I'll leave a link to at the bottom that basically goes in and lists the actual copyright law, and there's 6 points where you can read, so you can read that. But basically, public domain, if you put this out in public domain, that is, you basically have copyright rights on your work. There's no way that I know of, unhackable, to keep somebody from downloading an image off of your website or out of Facebook. Because of that, my stance and what I would consider, and I'm actually going to start doing, is keeping a digital signature on the photos of your painting. Not only your signature on the actual painting, but go into Photoshop or go into Paint or go into any other kind of photo editor that you have, and literally type your name and all rights reserved at the bottom of your photo. Why do you want to do that? One, you then keep control of that photo. You have placed on there your signature that basically says, these are my copyrights. I don't do anything with this photo without asking me. Okay? So that's the first thing and probably the most important thing. The other reason why you probably want to do this is if someone does download your photo and they try to digitally erase that signature, okay, the colors aren't going to look the same, and it is a legal intent that they tried to steal your work. You put a photo on there, you put your digital signature on there, they tried to erase it. That is an intent to steal. So my recommendation for anybody including myself, and I will say that I'm probably the worst person on this, but after I've done all this research, I certainly am going to start doing this. Take the time to go into Photoshop, Photoshop Elements, Paint, whatever your photo editor is, and type your name and all rights reserved at the bottom of that photo. Okay? So that's where we stand on the copyright issue and the World Wide Web and Facebook. Thanks for tuning in, and keep painting.